Hello, and welcome to Getting to Know Your Friends. I'm Zach Rowland, and with me, as always, Juliette Everhart and Christian Robinson, two of my bestest friends. And tonight, our very special guest, Bobby McCosky.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming. Yeah. So Bobby just finished up doing an e-improv set with us, and it was a lot of fun. So be sure to go check out e-improv.com if you want to see Bobby and us perform at the Recess Players. But enough about that. Let's get into knowing Bobby.
Yeah.
So, Bobby, tell us.
Yes.
Where do you come from? Like, you're the coolest person I know, and I'm not being overly stated with that. Like, I want you to know that. Like,
Oh,
you're
you
the
are
coolest
really
guy.
cool.
Yeah, you're a very cool customer.
So, what's
that makes
your
me
story?
so self-conscious.
Oh.
I don't try to
Now prove your coolness.
Yeah. No, I was born in Madison, Illinois. It's like right across the river from St. Louis.
Mm-hmm.
And I come from there, grew up there, moved to a town, Granite City, which is right next to it, but a steel mill town. And then what that means is that I spent most of my time in St. Louis as a kid because there was nothing to do in my hometown, really. Mm-hmm. And so that's really where I come from, like locationally. But I ended up in Kansas City. My girlfriend lived in Boston. We lived there for a while, and I kind of didn't like it, and I wanted to move back to the Midwest somewhere. And
You didn't like Boston?
no, I didn't like Boston. But
What did you not like about it?
like Boston is filled with boring, smart people. Like they're so into their school and stuff that I understand that, but it's like trains shut down at midnight, and like it's not a fun town to be in.
That's surprising.
Yeah.
That's very surprising.
Yeah, and so like there's cool things, but it would like end at 11, and then you got to go to parties if you want to. Like the
house
parties
parties.
are lame there.
Yeah.
So like,
Wow.
Yeah.
So how long were you in Boston then?
I was there for about 2 years,
Yeah.
and then just kind of realized it wasn't for me. And like Marcelle, my girlfriend, agreed with that, and she was like,
Cool.
Yeah,
So you found your way
I found my way
to
here
Kansas City.
to Kansas
Not back to
City.
St. Louis.
Not back to St. Louis. It was a job thing. I'm in rigging, which is like construction, building stuff, which is weird. And like the company I worked for in St. Louis, I no longer wanted to work for, and I got a better job in Kansas City.
Good.
So.
Good for you. Yeah. Awesome. So that's interesting. Rigging. Like.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about that.
No, you don't. Rigging is. No, you don't. No, you don't. No one does.
Nothing
Usually
about
I just tell
about
people.
rigging.
Never experienced rigging.
No.
I'm not a rigger.
No.
I'm not a rigger.
Rigging usually just means picking up heavy stuff, like how to go about it, and like so it's like wire rope and synthetics and like.
Okay, so actual like pulleys, leave like simple machine rigging. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
cranes and pulley systems.
And you do sales for that.
Yeah, I do sales for all.
How did
those
you fall into
components.
that?
I literally kind of fell into it. I was going to college.
Wait, hold on. Do you know what that means?
No,
You were
I
walking by
did not literally.
What's all this rigging?
Oh, the soft cushion silicone. No. No, my sister worked for a company, and I kind of got like on there during the summer to like help pay for school. And then I was going to be an art teacher, and about 2 years into doing that, I realized I didn't want to be an art teacher. And so I kind of like, my job there was paying so much that I was like, I'm just going to do this for a little bit. And then like,
Yeah. Well, that's great. So, your day job is specifically your day job. Like that has no relevance into anything else that you do, because I know for a fact you are a music aficionado.
yeah, I love.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I used to play in a lot of bands in St. Louis, and I love all kinds of music. Like honestly,
What are your influences? What do you like? What do you get into, man?
I love everything. I'm like the Beatles and Bob Dylan and all that. It's like the core. But then I like jazz. I'm a big hip hop fan. I like Pavement. I like indie rock too. You know, I like everything. Like music is so beautiful, and so many cultures do it so differently that like you'd be a fool to only listen to a few times.
You're a great resource. Like I know we've discovered a lot of great bands through you.
All right, Juliette. What is with the cat?
What is going on?
My cat wouldn't let me hold her, so
You just need some sort of
I
cat.
just need some sort of
It
cat.
is like Legend of the Mystical Ninja.
It
It's our
is.
save point.
It is our save point.
Julie, wasn't I with you when you bought that?
Yes, we bought this up in Omaha,
Omaha.
at some sort of head shop.
That's right.
I think it was.
Yeah.
Head
It's
shop?
out of batteries right now.
Oh,
The battery is dead, but
yeah.
it's supposed
Wow.
to wave on
So
its
we can get it at a
own.
head shop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know you got. Is there a hole? Is there a carburetor on it somewhere?
A carburetor.
Yeah.
Oh, should we talk about that?
Yeah, right.
No.
Oh,
There
good
is
times.
no way to smoke weed out of this.
Okay.
Yet.
Oh.
Sadly.
We'll figure it out.
There's always a way to smoke weed.
Well, there is always a way. Oh my
Yeah.
God! I found. Oh, look at this.
But yeah,
Oop, found a
So-
hole.
You said you went to college. Where did you go to college at?
I went to Southwestern Illinois College. It was actually like a community college in Illinois that was close to my parents' house. And I went there and I liked it. I liked college a lot. And then it just like, I don't know. I
Just fell out of it.
I just fell out of it. I was so like busy doing work stuff and like moving my way up.
The
in
work.
the rigging world.
Yeah, in the rigging
yeah,
world
ladder.
and like that kind of thing that I was like, you know what, I kind of prefer that. Like I didn't really want to be a teacher. I realized that halfway through and then I realized like all the degrees, there's no degree really for anything I'd want to do. Like what I like doing is writing and making comedy or like making music, and I could have got like an engineering degree, but that doesn't really fascinate.
There are music degrees.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is new to you, but there's.
Yeah,
there's
I
music
well,
degrees.
I have 4 friends with music
Like-
degrees, and they aren't using them in any capacity
Right.
at
Can you get a
all.
degree in like guitar playing or shredding? Can you get like,
You
guitar
can.
shredding?
Yeah, I mean,
Licks.
yeah,
Licks
hot
101.
licks, noodles,
Hot licks.
noodles 101.
Noodling,
Yeah, noodles
yeah.
101.
What's that slide? The little.
Oh, the little yeah,
the Jack White slide?
Yeah,
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, there's different ones. There's glass ones. There's
glass
metal
one?
ones. Yeah,
Make a different sound.
Yeah,
Twang.
open tuning, getting all.
So what kind of band were you in? What kind of music did you play?
My main band was a band called the Cuban Missiles. We were like we were a punk rock band, but with noodles on guitar because I played guitar. Like it was different. It was kind of like an indie punk band. The closest thing I could think is what's their face? I'm trying to think. Oh no, I can't think of their name. I'm brain farting on it.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh.
Noodly punk band.
Oh,
There,
noodly punk band.
Guys, this is when we need an intern.
Yeah,
We do. We need somebody on the internet.
Somebody to fact check
Like it's
this.
Right
Yeah.
now.
Noodly
So-
punk band.
So I have to know
Jimmy.
then.
Yeah.
So since you were in a punk band, like, what was the scuzziest place you ever played at?
The Creepy Crawl in St. Louis.
The creepy.
It's actually called the Creepy
The
Crawl.
Creepy Crawl was like a venue. If anyone, if you know anything about St. Louis, it's probably the Creepy Crawl because like it was like a shithole. Like one of those places where you walk in and the bathroom is like a stall door disappeared with stickers and spray paint and like all kinds of graffiti everywhere, and then like. It was just the shittiest little place, but all the great bands, like all the great punk bands that came through, played through there. So I saw a lot of good shows there, and I saw someone after getting stabbed once there. I saw drug deals in the big drug deals in the parking lot.
Big fancy drug
Yeah,
deals.
like where
Exchanges
someone
of bags.
like
and stuff?
like Lexus pulls up like
Whoa.
trunk
Oh wow,
pops.
fancy drugs.
Yeah,
Fancy
fancy
drugs.
like stuff
Like
wrapped
slug
in duct
drugs.
tape.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
kilos. They weigh it in kilos. It's so fancy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I get that.
yeah.
Wow.
But
My
I-
drugs
That's
aren't nearly that
Yeah,
fancy.
I played in the punk scene there, but I played with a lot of bands. And then on the side, I did I was in a cover band called Jam Central Station, and we.
That is a great
Yeah,
name.
thank you.
for a cover
Jam
band.
Central
I love
Station.
that.
Is, can we look you guys up at all, or is there
Yeah,
anything?
well, you could, except for after our last show, we found out there's another band in St. Louis called that,
Oh.
and apparently they play a show like once every 5 years, and
Okay.
they're like,
Jam Central Station in St. Louis. Give up the name if you're not
Yeah,
using
come on.
it.
Let
Yeah.
it go.
That's too good.
Yeah.
Good name.
it
These
is.
guys are
Selfish.
legit.
So yeah,
Mhm.
get rid of their fucking deep purple covers. Get the fuck
Yeah.
out of here.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
That's what the.
That's the first thing they teach you to play on guitar.
Yeah, exactly. Dun, dun, dun. It was like,
Dun, dun.
yeah.
I've taken guitar lessons, and yes, indeed,
The
Smoke
first
on the
thing,
Water
yeah.
is the very
Yeah.
first thing.
Yeah, I taught guitar for a while, and it's like, it's so cliche, but like most kids come in, they're like, oh, I know how to play Smoke on the Water, and then they kind of know how to play Smoke on the Water.
Kinda.
Like, dun, 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 dun. Like, you're like, why are you adding notes?
That sounds
to
like Pink Panther. That one you just did.
Dun, 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 dun,
Yeah, the kid, I don't know if you know the difference between pink and purple,
Yeah.
but
Significant,
kinda-
But
One
yeah,
means
go
drugs, the other means insulation.
I think so.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, that's
So I don't know if we want to cut anything out or not, but how much do you want to talk about drugs?
Oh, I can talk about whatever. I mean, I'm an open book.
Open
Okay.
book.
Open book policy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're all
I mean,
doing it.
however
It's all
much
getting
you guys-
legalized anyway,
Yeah,
right?
however much you
Go
guys-
America! You guys are good.
I don't do
You're
any
getting
drugs
legalized.
now.
Yeah,
Of course
I've
not.
smoked-
No one here does.
No,
I've
Nobody ever
smoked
has
the pots
ever.
before.
I don't do drugs now.
Yeah, smoked the pots.
Not at the moment, except beer.
Yeah.
Well,
You're a big beer drinker.
that's fine in America.
That's right. For some reason.
Because we fought so hard to get
Yeah.
it back.
The
That's
number
true.
one killer of all drugs. Yeah.
Yep.
But
You.
anyway,
Yeah.
So how'd you fall in love with weed?
how did I
I
fall?
thought you were gonna say
I
Marcel.
was.
Wow, right out of the
Yeah. Same.
Hey, we
Well, I just
That's
asked about
boring.
drugs. What? I'm gonna ask
Yeah.
about his girlfriend. Then?
That's a pretty lady. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Weed, Bobby.
No, I was a late bloomer. I was like the only friend, like growing up in a shitty steel mill town. Like weed is one of the weed is the way that most kids entertain themselves. Like to the point where they're just dumb. They're just like smoking and then being like, "Oh, I'm so high and I'm not doing anything." And so like those were some of my friends. And so I would
Yeah.
just go and hang
Yeah.
out with them and watch them for a while. And
Just
it
watch
didn't-
them smoke.
Yeah,
oh,
like just
Wow.
someday.
just chill and hang with them. And
So
it
how
didn't-
old were you when you first started smoking?
I think I didn't smoke till I was like 19 or 20.
Wow.
And then, I don't know, it kind of just, I was in college, I had a roommate, we always had friends and parties over, and I came to do it more, and then eventually I just kind of used, I just smoked a lot just from being in bands and doing that kind of stuff, it's a way to bond. It's like cigarette smoking. A lot of people just do it at first because you can go outside and talk to someone, you know what I
Right.
mean? When you're being social. So I did it like that, and then I just continue to do it the same way someone drinks wine after work. You know what I mean? Like, except for I don't.
job.
Yeah.
What you mentioned about like small town life, Christian said much the same because you're also from a small town.
Yeah.
And like all there is to do is just smoke shitty weed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Shit,
Yep, same
Mexican
with
weed,
me.
like dry as can be.
I didn't have to,
Uh,
not to get into my own story too much, but I didn't have to because I knew a good dealer. So I was pretty fortunate,
Oh.
even though I was out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mom, if you're watching. But
Do you think your mom watches this
Yeah.
podcast?
I don't know. Probably not.
Yeah, I finally met your mom. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
that was nice.
Yeah.
You also got to meet.
I did
Christian's
get to
mom.
meet.
Yeah, you got to stay
What was
with
your
her.
experience of Christian's mom?
Christian's mom seemed like most Midwestern middle class moms who are probably Catholic or Christian of some
Yeah, Catholic
sort.
nailed it. Yeah.
They're nice, but they're very like they want you to be a certain way. You know what I mean? Like
that's fair.
you know what I mean? Like they're good moms, but they're like, I question. some
Very
things.
judgy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very judgy.
But she was really sweet and she was really nice and I like that she was very Catholic and she seemed really liberal and smart. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like history buff, you could talk to her about that or like politics. And
She has a real passion for history, and yeah, it's where I get my blue collar Democrat attitude
Yeah.
from in a lot of ways. Yeah.
I know a lot of Catholics like that, like,
Mhm.
who are like probably conservative on some issues, but like
Pretty liberal and like
Pretty
most
liberal
social things.
You grew up Catholic, right?
no, I grew up Presbyterian / Southern Baptist. And so I was like way into God until I was like
Way into God.
Well,
Way into
actually,
God.
it's really weird. I used to like when I was a kid. I lived next to a Presbyterian church I went to, and so like I would go there for Sunday school, and then I'd leave before the sermon. So I really only got the good parts of Jesus, like or like good parts of the Bible. Jesus is pretty cool in my book.
Yeah.
But like
We're going to now interrupt for a segment called The Good Parts of Jesus.
Yeah.
And in this segment, Bobby is going to tell us all of the good parts of Jesus.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Bobby.
those locks, like that hair, that
Good hair.
bod. Okay, physicality first. Like he was a stunning man.
Mhm.
All right, on top of that,
Knew how to wear a robe.
knew
Yeah.
how to wear a robe.
Did your church have ripped Jesus? Like, did he have the six?
Yeah.
pack?
Oh, yeah. He was like ripped and on the crucifix.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, I gotcha.
on
Sexy
it.
Jesus.
Yeah, sexy Jesus. But
Right,
like,
said Fred Jesus.
yeah. But aside from that, I like.
Too sexy for
Too
this
sexy
crown.
for my cross.
Yeah.
Too sexy for this cross.
So sexy.
Yeah.
I'm
hurt.
Yeah.
So sexy, it's your soul's
Yeah.
lost.
Yeah.
Oh.
But yeah, aside from that, I like all the first will be last, like helping the poor, all that stuff. And
Sure.
no religion sets before
All
that.
the good stuff that nobody pays attention to.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah.
I got a similar version of Christianity as compared to my Catholic
You're
fiancé.
Protestant, right?
Yeah, it's all just like, hey, Jesus is like your sky friend. Don't read the Bible.
Yeah.
Like it's
almost
good. It's all
secular
good. Everybody
humanist.
feels like that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's like so much easier to not end up growing up and hating religion.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Catholicism's, I think, biggest challenge is they so want to still, like, this is the Bible, but when you teach the Bible, you go like, this is crazy. This is fucking crazy ass shit. I'm not gonna follow
Well, the
this.
thing is, like growing up Southern Baptist in like my teenage years when I kind of went to church to be like, oh, I want to find out spirituality and all that. Like, if you're a young, even semi-intelligent person, you have to you have these big questions, and when you go to ask them to people and the answers they give you, you realize something's off. Like, you realize like there's a fault in your logic, and like, even though you're older than me, I'm seeing through your bullshit, kind of.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And then
But I know religion can be a good thing.
rock.
But I know religion can be a great thing in people's lives. But like,
Jam Central Station, guys.
but Jam Central
Give it
Station
back.
is
Give
my
it
religion.
back.
All right?
Damn it.
Yeah.
I guess to jump off of Omaha, because you're up there for the Omaha
Yes,
Improv
that was good.
Festival,
That was
you were
great.
also on a
Jump
couple
off
of teams here in Kansas City.
Yes.
Most notably, Disappointing Birthday Party, who, as of this recording, are the Underground Throwdown champions.
Yeah.
2 wins in a
times
row. 2 wins in a row so
guys.
far
Yeah.
for this guy. right
Yeah,
here.
check these guys out. They
Yeah.
are on fire right now.
Very
Yeah.
funny.
I have a lot of great teammates, and it's like, I feel very lucky because these were kind of my friends who I met through doing improv and having you guys as coaches, and they were just
You guys
like,
kind of formed out of some classes together.
Yeah, we took classes and we were all kind of like, hey, we're all pretty different people, but we all like each other, and like that's how a lot of good improv.
What was that
teams
process like for you? Because I know that you had been exposed to improv
Yeah.
prior to coming to Kansas City. So what was that process like for you coming up through like the Kansas City scene
Yeah.
and meeting these new people, forming a team?
Yeah. In St. Louis, I got to watch a lot of improv at the Improv Shop, and like they were a big like kind of heraldy. They do lots of heralds, and it's very kind of IO UCB structure.
Big shout out to the Improv Shop.
Yeah.
St. Louis.
Hey,
Good
all my
name.
friends.
Good
use of that
Kevin,
name.
Andy, yeah, all you guys, you're great.
Quick shout out to the teams you want to come here. Let's get them here. At the Power
Yeah,
of Video.
Pone Pone, get your asses
Pone
here,
Pone.
ladies.
Do it.
Yeah,
on.
Meowsers.
Yeah.
We know Meowsers.
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
we met you at
Meowsers.
Janglehart.
We met
Yes,
you
we
at
did.
Janglehart.
Get your ass out
Yeah,
here.
get over
Empty
here.
full of donuts, Galexander, anything Marshall Cox, my best friend, is on.
Yeah.
Marshall Cox, what's up?
What's
Get
up?
up,
Get out
get
of
up here.
Marshall. Come
Get
on.
up here. Grow up here.
We've
Yeah.
got a venue, sort of.
Yeah,
Well,
we
sort of.
got venues.
We got
Mostly.
We
venues.
do comedy.
We do it.
We got, yeah.
Yeah, but I got to see a lot. Like, okay, here's another weird part of my moving from St. Louis to Boston to Kansas City thing. When I moved to Boston, I came back to St. Louis, and that company I was working for originally told me that I was gonna get this job, like moving really high up in the company, and they were going to like start a whole new thing with me. And then it turned out to be bullshit, and I saw through it in a couple months, and I was like, my old boss was kind of going senile. Anywho, like that's when I started looking for jobs here in Kansas City, and like in that limbo period is when all my friends were getting into improv and doing it, and so I never got to like jump on a team because at any minute I felt like
You
I
could
might
go.
be jumping to Kansas City and it's
Yeah.
pointless to start. And so I was like that for like 8 months in limbo, and so I got to watch a lot of good improv, and so like, and I got to work on a sketch team called the Last Sketch Show on Earth with a lot of good friends.
Nice.
And, like,
Cool.
That was a good experience. And
What was that experience like? I mean, I know we're kind of jumping around a little bit.
Oh,
but,
yeah, but that was
sketch
great.
is really fascinating.
yeah, it was a great learning experience because like there were some times where we would write something and then like get it all together and be like, oh, it's gonna be great, and then we do it and be like, what the fuck were we saying with that one?
Yeah, it's a lot of trial and error.
Yeah, but like that was the whole point of it, and like there was a lot of good people and they were very dedicated. I gotta say that like even if we didn't always put on the best show, we put on shows and like we got better and
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
a great learning.
Even if we didn't always put on the best shows, we put on shows.
We put on, and that's so much of it. Like it's the
Well,
whole
it
Ira
is.
Glass thing he talks about, like where it's like you have to fail at something for a long time till you get good
That's
enough.
very,
at it.
that's
So
very
And you have to
true.
be brave enough to do that.
Yeah.
Like, and so
Yeah, cool. So, so you were doing some of that stuff in St. Louis, and then you got to Kansas City.
Yeah.
And what happened? Where did you go? Who did you meet? Like, who became your almost like immediate friends?
yeah. Right when I moved here, I was kind of researching like, hey, where do they do improv classes
Yeah.
here at? And so like the Kick kind of popped up because I knew they did long form, and I was definitely more interested in that kind of thing. And I remember actually when I first came here, I was like, I'm gonna go see the improv shows and see who I fucking like and see what the scene's like here. Like
Very pretentious.
I
of
was
you.
like, well, I heard a lot about like short form here and everything I saw. I came here once and I saw a short form show. And I didn't. It was just drunk people yelling at the audience.
Yeah.
And the members were drunk, and they were, you know. And
It's so much better when like drunk people yell at each other in the guise of a long form improv show.
Yeah, definitely.
That works
The
out
rest of
all
our
the time.
Yeah.
here is.
Yeah.
But it was just not good. And then I went to the Kick, and I saw, honestly, after school special. I was like, these guys know what they're doing. Like, I want to, like, I need to like see what they're all about. And I realized you were coaches at KCIC at the time, and so I was like, let me go there. And then I met John, R.C., Bass, Chris, everyone in Disappointing Birthday Party, Sydney.
Because I had some of you guys in, what was it, a level 2 class?
Yeah, level 2, I
Yeah.
believe. Yeah.
So-
I never taught Bobby.
You
He's a
did.
delight.
You were one of my level
Bobby
ones.
is
There was
a
2 level ones. I
Was
thought.
there?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry.
No, it was.
I must have been on a lot of drugs. The really fancy drugs. I was on a lot of fancy drugs, guys.
As the
Lexus pulls up.
Lexus. I get out of my Lexus. I'm like, am I teaching this Bobby McCosky character today or what?
Oh, there's a punk rock show.
Punk
So-
rock show going on.
Bobby, I would have talked to you like as your coach, basically. Like, Disappointing Birthday Party has been a real ragtag group, but you guys have really like pulled yourself together and turned yourself into a really amazing group. You guys are like
Yeah,
the
it's been a-
biggest like up and coming group right now.
yeah.
I feel like I don't know.
I would
when
agree.
you run throwdowns,
Yeah,
like that's pretty cool. Like, how have you guys felt? Like, how has that been from your side? I mean, from my side.
As I think anyone who's trying to do anything, you get really self-conscious about it, and
Yeah.
you're like, you doubt how good you are, and you have moments of like, oh, what am I doing? But then like, you do shows, and you're like, oh, this is fun. Like we're better than I, you know. You get like classes are so hard that sometimes you get beat up on yourself, but like.
It's kind of in a bubble.
Yeah, and like we did that for a long time, and then we got to the point where I think it works in improv and it works in a lot of other things where like you do it long enough, and then you're like, well, I've failed in most ways I can fail. Like you know, it gives you a little bit more of a fearlessness,
Yeah.
and then like, and now I just love everyone I play with. Everyone's so passionate, and they all are constantly trying to get better, and they have questions, and like
I love you guys' passion and dedication.
Yeah.
That's really right. Because you were always funny. And so you are always such a real asset to the team, but as you've committed yourself more, and
yeah. Because
I mean,
being
you're a
just
great
funny
player.
can fuck you really hard
Yes,
too.
it
absolutely
If
can.
you're just
It
trying
really
to be
can.
funny, like I've fallen on my face doing that, and I've realized, you know, I can't just be witty. Like anyone can be witty. Like,
what was
Yeah.
your biggest fall on your face moment?
Good question.
oh gosh, let me think. I'm sure that there was one show at the Kick where, what was I doing? I can't remember. I came up and I think I interrupted someone's scene and like came in as something, and I thought I was adding to the scene, and I can't remember what it was right now, but probably because I blocked it due to trauma.
But you remember the feeling of
But I
being
remember being like, "Fuck, why?"
I think everybody has that moment where
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna go in and save this scene
Yeah.
or really blow it out, and you just like you weren't
Yeah.
listening
And
because
I-
you were just
yeah.
like too dialed into like, I'm gonna come in with
I
this
got
thing.
this funny thing.
Yeah.
My idea is going to work, guys.
Yeah. And then it was just
look out,
bam,
here comes
right
the
on my
funny
It almost
face.
always falls flat.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Oh. So let's do lightning round.
Yeah.
All right. I got something I want to start with. All right. So Bobby, real quick.
Yep.
Are you being growing up
Pescatarian.
Pescatarian.
Growing up pescatarian.
Growing up pescatarian.
Presbyterian.
Presbyterian equate to you later becoming pescatarian?
Subconsciously, yes.
Oh, good. How calculated are the glasses?
I tried on 5 pairs and took an internet survey of friends to be like, hey, which ones do you like the most?
Nice.
Yeah, so pretty calculated.
Superhero or supervillain?
Which do I prefer? Probably supervillains. Their stories are usually more interesting.
Me too.
Yeah.
When was the last time you bought flowers for your lady?
Marcel hates getting flowers. She finds it to be a tacky maneuver, and that flowers are beautiful on their own without being yanked out of the ground. So I don't buy her flowers. We're really odd in a like we do weird things where we're like, oh, we don't celebrate Valentine's Day, and then like 4 days later we're like, hey, you want to go get a nice meal? We're
If
weird
your dog,
like that.
if your dog Pablo suddenly gained the ability to speak and understand human speech, what would be the first thing you talked to him about?
Oh my gosh, if Pablo was a sentient being who could talk to me.
Yep. First thing you'd speak to him about.
Yeah.
I would ask him why he's such a stand-up dude.
Your dog is a real stand.
He is a real
Such a
stand-up
love
dude. I
He's
like that.
lovable and sweet and silly and like, yeah.
Where was your first, most fearful experience? Like, what was your first fearful
Oh,
experience?
most fearful experience. Oh my gosh, let me think. There was one time where, okay, this is odd. I grew up in a bad neighborhood, and one time I was in the alley, and these kids were walking by who were like older and like fucking mean kids, like just old, like they were 13 or 14 at the time. They were like rough scallions, and like they went by and I yelled something, like they did something, like they cut through my yard. I was like, hey, you assholes, or something, and like they started like coming at me, like 3 of them up this alley, and like the fear of God sunk down into me. And then at that moment, my mom was in the backyard. She's like, hey, get the fuck out, and like yelled at the kids and like saved my life. And like
wow.
I was about to get my ass beat.
Thanks, Bobby's mom.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thanks,
thanks,
Mom.
Bobby's
You're
mom.
the
Bobby's
greatest.
mom saved my life
Yeah.
last night.
Yeah.
Okay, favorite Game of Thrones character.
You don't even watch Game of Thrones.
No, but you do.
Yeah, but I watch it. Oh, this is going to be an odd one. Jamie Lannister, probably, because he is like you hate him for the first, like, there's a lot of reasons to hate him. He's a terrible person. But he's like, you always know where he stands for the most part. Like, you know that, like, he's only going to stand up for his family and he will kill anyone else. And, like, I like that about him. I like that you know who he is.
Doesn't he like fuck his sister?
He does rape his sister, so I can't say that at all. But that's a show. Look, that's a show where if you want to talk about like the best people on there, they probably poisoned and raped and killed people at some time.
Yeah.
It just happens.
It apparently it does in that world.
You fall into it like rigging.
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah, you fall into it. Next thing you know,
Literally fall into
You
it
fall
like
into it.
rigging.
Incest and poison.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
boy.
It's not TV, it's HBO.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lightning round? Done?
Lightning round!
Done.
Okay.
Good lightning round. Good.
I'll take it.
Cool. So I like to talk more about people's influences and stuff. So what were your early comedy influences? You're a comedy writer. You've done sketch. You've done improv.
Yeah.
Where else? Where does that all come from?
As a little, like starting at the beginning.
Sure. Yeah. Do it.
Little kid, I was probably like very attracted to, like, I watched SNL at a young age, like from 6 years old. I was like, oh, I like this show. I'm gonna watch it like late at night.
Yeah.
I was crazy. Like I had a TV in like the room across from me in the basement. I'd sneak out there and like watch it at night. And I probably, that's why I found comedy so rewarding at a young age. It's like, oh, I'm doing this sneakily.
Yeah.
But I like early I was like, oh, Jim Carrey's the greatest thing in the world, and like you know how that is. Everyone went through that phase. But then Simpsons were huge for me. Then later on I watched UCB religiously, Strangers with Candy, any kind of, any show on Comedy Central that was.
Any specific people that you remember, like just adoring and
Oh,
trying to
yeah.
like mimic?
Oh.
Or like, really take on those characteristics?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of SNL characters. I like Chris Parnell a lot. I liked.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I like kind of like mild-mannered people who were I don't know, who could play straight but also play crazy.
Yeah.
And like
Chris Parnell's a great example. Of
Yeah,
that.
he
That guy
does both.
is so underrated.
He's
so
super
funny.
underrated. Yeah.
Do you watch Archer?
Yeah, I
He's
love
so
him in
funny on
Archer.
that.
So
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah, and then Dr. Spachiman, I love
Yeah,
that
Oh,
character.
man.
great character.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that I watched UCB. I didn't get into Mr. Show till like after high school, and I kind of missed it right afterwards. But like, obsessed with Mr. Show. It's like, it's a stereotypical thing to say, but like, I can't name a better sketch show in my mind.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Were you one of the people I loaned my DVDs out to? I feel like I've loaned out my DVDs.
No, I'm
You
one of
really
those.
spread the word of that
Yeah.
show to the masses.
I'm one of those
Yeah.
people who also loans out their DVDs so much
Yeah.
that I bought like twice because I'm
Yeah.
like, where's that DVD at?
It's just one of those ones you love to share because
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
amazed at how many people have never seen it or even heard of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just remember watching old UCB and like falling in love with Amy Poehler, like
Oh.
just being like, who is this girl? And like watching her become who she is now, and that's
Yeah. That's so great to just kind of like see these people that you really idolize, and I hate the word you use, the word idolize, but there's these comedians
You respect
that
them
like,
so
yeah,
much.
you do, and then when you see them continue on and grow and become these really fantastic actors and these really
Yeah.
fantastic comedians, but they're still very humble about what they do. Like I love that about people in improv. Like a lot of times it seems like. Earlier we were talking about how a lot of these people go back to the UCB or back to I.O.
Yeah.
Bill Murray, Robin Williams.
Yeah.
Like they'll go back to these places because they love their roots. And
Yeah.
I think that's what I love
Yep.
getting to know about people is like
Yeah.
what like what your roots are, where you would go back to or whatever
Yeah.
it is. And so
Yeah.
that's really great.
I was gonna say nowadays, what is it? Andy Daly and Paul F. Tompkins, I would say, are probably my two like.
Review was an amazing
Yeah,
show.
like
I'll
If you have not seen it, check it out.
Yeah.
ComedyCentral.com.
Yeah. Any podcast they're in too. Like I'll listen to improv or listen to like Comedy Bang Bang.
Yeah.
And then like Paul F. Tompkins will pop up and like I'm like, good lord, how did you add like so much to everything? And like, how do I do that?
Right. Yeah, we're all still trying
Yeah,
to
we're
figure
all
that
like,
out.
how do you do that?
Gosh, yeah. Paul F. Tompkins.
How do you do that?
How do you do it?
How do you do it?
And we've met you before.
How do
And
you
you
do
didn't
it?
answer.
You never answer.
Why didn't
Simple
you answer?
question.
Come on,
It's
Paul.
a simple question.
This is pretty simple. Get over it.
So I'm going to
Jeez.
ask you the flip side then. just
Okay.
Because of this, the question I asked earlier. What was one of your biggest successes on stage? What do you feel like is your biggest
good.
success
Good
thus
question.
far?
Biggest success? I mean, it has to be the first time we won the Throwdown because, like, we were very much underdogs, and I felt like we played to the best of our abilities that night. And like, even if we would have lost, I would have been like, we were, There's something about a big audience like that too, where like you're in the moment, and I don't know. That show is just my favorite so far that I've done.
How did it feel like at the end when you're up there doing the line games, like waiting for
Yeah.
that first tally to come
Especially because you guys, that's a short form game and you guys weren't feeling strong about that,
Yeah.
as I recall.
I don't know. I always feel like I'm either really good at short form like games or I'm really bad at them.
Yeah, no in between here.
Like I'm either like sometimes I'll be playing one of those games and like killing it, and then other times like you could let me sit here for 20 minutes and I wouldn't come up with a good line.
But there's always this like weird pressure, especially at Underground Throwdown, of like, well, we haven't really won until we also like make them laugh during the line game part at the
Yeah.
end while people are voting.
And-
And I always like worry that will sway people.
I do
Get
too,
sweet
and
voters.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I have to say I feel like the last two we've won I've done really good at the line games, like
Cool.
which is like
Yeah.
which means I'll probably fuck the next two up real bad. It's like-
Do you really think that people are taking into account how well you're doing at the live game? Or do they,
I think it could sway
I
somebody.
think so.
I
Someone
think
afterwards
it's
was like, "Hey, I really like you in that thing at the end." I was
Yeah.
like, "Okay, thank you."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
And we,
Yeah.
we really won because we equated like
Yeah.
how I perform sex is similar to a banana.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
A lot of great jokes about
The
that.
moment I got them
how that
was when I
works.
talked about how sex with me was like 20 million toasters or something.
What's it like?
I don't know.
That's
Is
a-
that one of the games?
Yeah, Sex with Me is
Something
like,
like,
20 million toasters?
20
Oh,
million
man.
toasters.
So we need
Short
to
form
play.
games,
Do we
you
need,
guys.
yeah, we're gonna do a
Let's do
round
let's
of-
do a
Oh, God.
Let's do a round of sex with me.
All right.
Son of a
All right,
bitch.
so
Suggestion.
let's get a suggestion from our tech man Dale. There's something out there.
187 cats.
Sex with 187
Yeah.
cats is like.
Sex with me is like 187 cats. It reminds you of your aunt's house.
Sex with me is like sex with 186 cats. You keep getting scratched, but it's just too darn cute to stop.
Sex with me is like sex with 187 cats. All the pussy in the world.
Guys, I stopped doing KCIC so I wouldn't have to do this.
Julie's the ass.
I'm fucking out!
Oh god.
Good.
Nice.
Julie ran
Yeah,
away.
right. Now you get leg room. Great
Stretch
job
out
here,
here.
Julie. Cool. So we've got what, like 10 minutes left.
10-ish.
Sure. Yeah. I think I know when we started. I'm gonna pretend to look at this clock over here, which you can't see. Yeah. So, Bobby, you're also Christian mentioned earlier on another team, Herald team.
Yes.
Babies.
With
Babies.
everyone here.
Everybody
Yes.
sitting in this living room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's that experience like?
Oh, that's wonderful. The Herald is something that I've never gotten to touch, and I've got to see it so much that I'm like, it's totally different than most improv you see in Kansas City, and so I'm so excited to be learning it from the people we're learning it from, and to be in it with you guys, because like you guys got a good group of people together who
Yeah,
really,
it's a very fun team.
Fun group.
yeah.
Yeah.
How have you
And-
liked, oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like, I can't wait to do more shows and for people to see babies perform.
Yeah.
basically.
We got some stuff coming up for eimprov.com.
That's
Yeah.
right.
So how have you liked getting to work with out of town people? Because
Yeah.
you missed out the first time, so you've gotten to work with James Mastriani and Dustin Drury before.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
How's it felt to like work with?
Yeah, I did one with
UCB
Amy.
people.
Amy
too.
Gorlick, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, you were
Whoever that
Yeah, I
is.
was-
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. My girlfriend. Yeah.
She's
Oh.
great. Amy, you give great
Amy.
notes. You probably don't.
You
remember.
give a lot more of the great things than
Oh.
that, I'll tell you that. Oh.
Get a room.
Oh, get a room!
That's an in joke, which is gonna play really well to
Yeah.
everyone. By the way, in joke, you guys.
Yeah.
In joke.
What was the
Amy, we
question?
love you.
I know, just how's it been
How's it
working
been?
with these
Yeah.
other
It's
coaches?
been it's great. Learning from the UCB people because they give great notes. Like they watch and they like what you hear in your head usually like, oh, what the fuck is wrong? They know and they've been there and they've seen it and like
Yeah.
it's nice to see. Because I'm sure people in New York see so much bad improv that it's like
Yeah.
they know most of the notes and they know most of the problems that are all too common.
Yeah, I think my assumption was always everything going on in Chicago and New York and LA must just be amazing.
So much
Yeah.
better
I
than
could walk
this,
into
right?
like any show and just be blown away.
It's
Yeah.
just
And I'm not talking
There's
shit
great
because it's like
people.
I go in, I see these shows and they're good,
Yeah.
but I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, thank God, we're still doing improv here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we're comparable to their teams
Yeah.
that are
Right.
at
God,
this
that
level.
sounds like a real pat on the back.
No, but no,
That's why I tried to
that's-
downplay it.
That's another reason I didn't like Boston so much is that like people on the East Coast act like the Midwest is just a void of inbred, conservative fuckery. And
It
like,
only mostly.
it only
is.
mostly is
95%.
Like there's great people and there's great things going on, and most of the great
Absolutely is,
people
yeah.
come from this part of the country. Like
Yeah.
all
Yeah,
these
that's
people
true.
you talk about in improv and in
Yep.
comedy come from here,
Come
and it's
from the
because it's not that you can't have that mentality on the coast. It's just that like
That's where it's at.
it's a different way of life, and you look at the world different. I don't know.
Yeah. No, that's really true. Like so many great actors have come out of the Midwest and gone to schools in the Midwest where we are, and it's like, I don't know, it's incredible to think about
Yeah.
that because, the coasts are the coast for a reason. They have the staples of production,
Yeah.
but the talent pool, I think personally, is really in the Midwest.
Yeah.
And we really get a lot of good life experience and like just wholehearted, or full-heartedness, or I guess I'm trying to screw up my words here, but yeah, like it's just one of those feelings of being like, I can relate to that person because they are good-natured or like they're funny in this way or that
Yeah.
way, and I think that's why I really do like Chicago for like its ability to help
Draw people
steer
up.
people in the right place and get them in shape for what's to
Yeah.
come. So
I think we're saying like, hey, coasts, there's good stuff everywhere.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Pay
Not just
attention.
organizations.
pay attention to us.
Mhm.
Jeez.
Although you guys do really well.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, you
Yeah.
do great.
Right.
You definitely are the Mecca for a reason, but
Yeah.
there's more out there. Okay.
So Bobby, are you doing any musical endeavors right now? What's going on? Are you jamming?
No, well,
Yeah, doing any changes?
I'm always like
Jam Central
fucking around with
Jam
guitars.
Central
I'm Jam
Station.
Central
Give it
Station,
back.
and then me and my friend Tim are gonna start writing music and like
Cool.
doing a little. He's a drummer. I'm gonna probably play with a loop pedal and just like build and do that. And then my friend Kyle, who's in Babies, like
Yeah,
might-
I love Kyle.
I might
Kyle
play-
Akers.
Kyle Akers.
Yeah.
You get a shout
I
out.
might play lead guitar at a show. He's in the Magnetics or a cover band. I might hop
Love
up.
those guys.
I might hop up and do some guitar stuff with him one night because he's nice enough to invite me to do that.
Well, let us know when that happens.
Yeah,
'cause
yeah.
I will be there. We went and saw Kyle play
Yeah,
with
oh.
Antennas Up, and oh my
Professional.
gosh,
They
what
were
a
so good.
great show! Those guys,
They're
uh,
class act.
top of the notch.
Yeah,
Top of the notch.
top of the pops.
Really good
Top
stuff.
of
All right, well now we're going to come down to the flip side where Bobby gets to ask
Ooh.
us questions.
Oh, good. All
Dun,
right.
dun, dun. So Bobby, you
There's
can ask
this
us.
segment.
Yeah, this is the
Ask
ask the
away.
host. So you can ask
Ask
individual
away.
questions,
Okay.
or you can ask a general question to all of us and have us all answer it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
All right.
Mhm.
What? All of you.
Okay.
All of us.
All of you.
All
What
of
has
us.
been your most rewarding improv moment in Kansas City, not abroad?
Oh.
Yeah, I want you to
Okay.
think about.
Oh
it.
no,
Okay.
you're not gonna believe mine. I already know mine.
Go for
I
it.
know
Yeah,
which
for it.
share it
one.
out.
Yeah.
As great as it feels like my own like personal accomplishments and things that I've done, actually it was when you guys won
Mm.
Underground Throwdown.
Oh.
Yeah, as your
knowing that
coach,
like we
yeah.
were your
Yeah.
coaches and like not only am I
Oh.
good enough to perform this, but I'm good enough to teach this to someone well enough that they can become good at it and funny. Not that I'm taking all the credit for you.
No, no.
But, like
Yeah.
No, there's no
I
way
felt
we.
so proud.
There's no way we'd be this good without you guys.
I'm like, oh, they're good at improv. Yay.
Yeah.
Wow. God, man, for me, I think it would be Chess with Death's appearance at last year's improv festival.
Oh God, the JFK.
Yeah.
That was a really good one.
If anyone saw that, you know.
Yeah, it was just, it was
Yeah.
such a good set, and it was
Really
a
good.
Oh,
big-
you still remember a gag from it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I remember that. Everyone there remembers the
Yeah,
JFK.
I mean that's up there. I mean it's like on par with that first Underground Throwdown win for After School
That was
Special.
pretty big.
But yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Gosh, I hate to say it, but like so many. Because
tough. Yeah,
we
Yeah,
won,
you won
seven
seven times.
underground throwdowns in
Yeah.
a row as after school special, and every one of those was magical, and I felt just great, and I felt like we had worked so hard for it, and we did. I mean, we rehearsed so much and really, put ourselves up to the challenge. And that's why I'm glad to see you guys doing that with Disappointing Birthday Party.
Yeah.
I think that's so awesome that we help these other teams get to that level.
Alpha Swan Platoon as well. I gotta
Yeah,
say.
and then I was just say that's another one of
Yeah.
those things where I got to help coach and direct Alpha Swan Platoon to an incredible appearance at Underground Throwdown, which they were robbed of.
I got to rewatch. I wasn't there, but I rewatched it. I was like, oh, they killed it. There.
Yeah. And then, but I also really had I've had a couple of good festival shows. The most recent one last year with our friend Nick Armstrong.
That was amazing.
That was
right
fun.
now.
That was a
Kid
great
Crime
fun show.
Syndicate.
yeah.
Gosh, Kid Crime Syndicate will forever be ingrained in my memory. Just
Yeah.
so much fun. And then I had the year before I was in KCIC and I had to hold on to a British accent for an entire set,
Wow.
and I did.
Good job.
And
It's
that
so
felt
hard.
really great because I had people come up to me afterwards being like, "Wow, like you killed it doing
Yeah.
that." Like, and I was just like, I don't know, I was just having fun.
I was just being brutal.
And that was the tennis. We did this whole tennis supervillains epic set.
I remember
remember that, yeah.
I saw that
Yeah.
show.
And
Yeah.
so like the show overall maybe wasn't my favorite show, but for me that was the defining moment. Being like, oh no, I really love doing this. Like I can do this. Like this is really fun for me. So yeah, that was it. Yeah.
Another group question.
Okay.
All right, we got it. Yeah.
What is something that you want to be better at doing? Like, what is something that you like doing but you don't do constantly? Like something that you want to do that you don't do? Like, is there any hobby that you want to pursue that
Oh,
you
yeah.
don't?
Yeah.
Or that
Yep.
you'd like to?
Music.
Yeah.
I have tried to teach myself how to play the guitar, which I should probably talk to you about
Yeah,
that. Drums, which I'm a huge music fan.
Yeah.
Music is probably the one thing that I can remember to when I was a baby. Like, just remember hearing and grooving to. It's always been a thing in my life, and I've always wanted to play. And I can sing, so I've auditioned for bands.
I wish I could sing.
And and do that. And so that's always been my thing. But I've always wanted to be a lead singer of a band, but I've never been able to really achieve that goal, because I really feel like you have to cross-pollinate yourself and learn how to do this thing and that thing and work it every which angle. So
have you ever tried piano?
no, but I love
piano,
the piano.
I was gonna say piano is both rhythm and like music. So if you can learn that, it's kind of like learning your essentials.
I hate to say it, but I feel like this late in life,
you can do it. You can do it. Trust me.
Yeah. So that's my thing. I want to be a
Yeah.
musician.
Yeah.
I would love to.
Actually, my answer is the same, although I am a somewhat credible guitar player, or was, because I picked it up for about 3 years, but unfortunately, like, we hit some financial hard times, and that necessitated pawning a lot of shit, which meant pawning both my guitars and my bass.
Aww.
So kind of been out of it for a little while, and I desperately want to get back in it. I play a little keyboard too, but I've been so heartbroken since then I haven't gotten back into it. I messed around a lot with like Ableton Live and stuff. I wanted to make my own like electronic music and sing and stuff as well.
So cool.
But I was never like gutsy enough. Actually, one of the things that got me to perform, I'm not going to take up too much time with my own dumb story.
Oh, no.
I went to see this band. I went to see the show out in Lawrence. Those Darlings. They're this like rockabilly girl group. But there was this band opening for them called the Greats from Australia, and they were just this really fun like pop punk type group. But he was like the most fun animated person I've ever seen on stage. And she like came around and just talked to people afterwards, and she was so nice, and she was answering all these dumbass questions people had about Australia and stuff. But she came out and like danced with everybody while Those Darlings were playing, and I especially like hung out with her and danced with her a lot. And finally at the end of the night, she was like, "Next time I'm here, I want to see you up there. It's so great." And I was like, "Oh my god!"
That's awesome.
That's great.
For me, I want to write. I've talked about this for a while, and not just sketch. I've been really interested in trying my hand at writing comics for a while. I love the way, particularly now, like I read comics a lot in the 90s when I was a kid, and they were terrible. But I started picking it up again like 2004 or something, and the writing style since then has gotten so much better, and it's like really reinvigorated my interest in writing.
Awesome.
And it just fascinates me, like this sandbox of characters they have to like play
Comic
with.
books are so fun right now.
Yeah.
You do, like, I know you do, for a job, you do art, like, your, what is it, your technical?
Front end development.
Yeah. But you do art a lot, right?
Yeah.
Graphic design.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so. Would you want to draw your comics too, or just write?
Probably focus on the writing at first. But I mean, drawing is something I've done since I was a little kid, so maybe. But drawing a whole comic is so much work.
Yeah, it is.
It's a crazy amount of work.
I just made like a 24-second animation, and it took like 20 hours of my life.
That was awesome.
Yeah,
I saw it this morning.
Yeah. That was really great. Cool, guys. Well, let's go ahead and throw out some plugs and some thank yous. So, of course, Bobby McCosky and Disappointing Birthday Party will be at Underground Throwdown when?
June 21st, Saturday, June 21st.
That's coming up, guys. And this is their third appearance. This is your third?
It'll be our third time.
Well, this is your third appearance or your third time? If you
It'll
guys...
be our third appearance. We won the first time and we tried.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
right.
Look
wow,
at you,
that's
just
great.
rolling
Well,
in there being like, boom.
yeah, After School
Yeah.
Special
Look
had
at
that
that.
same experience. So
Yeah.
that feels awesome. Cool. So June 21st.
Yep.
And then are you guys doing improv team up?
Yeah, I think we're
Hopefully
doing
set.
improv team up. I'm going to be there in
Yes,
some
you guys.
capacity.
No, no,
Awesome.
you guys are gonna be there.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
be there at Disappointing Birthday Party. I might try to hop up and do.
13th.
June 13th at the Uptown Arts
June
Bar.
13th,
yeah.
Uptown Arts Bar. That's the Recess Players, and you can find that out at therecessplayers.com.
Saturday, I'm just gonna get my phone.
Also on the web,
Yeah.
that's how you can go to Facebook, and we also have a Twitter handle as well. And we've got Del Close Marathon.
They'll
Yeah.
come
For
in
us.
and
In a couple
catch
of weeks.
us.
Guys,
See you
yeah.
in New York.
Yeah, Bobby's gonna be there with us. He's
I'm
not
visiting. I
performing,
just
but
wanna
he's
watch.
just going to watch.
Yeah, see Bobby walking
See me
around.
watch.
Yeah, guys, because
Watch me.
he's
Watch
the
him,
one.
watch us.
Watch
the Watchmen.
Yeah.
Watch the Watchmen.
Guys, no,
Yeah.
it's not the 13th. It is our next improv team up, the Recess Players. You can see a wonderful team. Disappointing Birthday Party. You will also get to see Lady Light Show. which
Yeah.
is-
Mhm.
Us.
And Harold, maybe
Yes,
babies.
and
Babies.
babies,
Yeah.
maybe babies.
Yeah.
Maybe lady.
Saturday, June 14th at 10 o'clock.
14. Yeah, live streamed. By the
Yeah,
way, guys,
yeah,
we're gonna get that live
yeah,
stream.
thank
So
But
if you
actually,
can't be
please
there,
come out.
yeah,
But also,
come to the show. But the live stream's also
Yeah, if
gonna
you're-
be awesome.
Please don't
Oh.
just stay in your home if you have the option to come out to the
You
show.
guys want to go to the show, or you want to stay and order
we
a
can
pizza?
live stream.
Okay, we'll ice cream. Yeah.
Do it. Do it, bro. Do it
Um,
into your room.
yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, and we have anything else? That's it right now.
We have Fringe Festival coming
Fringe
up
Festival.
the
Fringe
last
Festival's
week
coming
of
up.
July.
Yeah.
It's going to be 3 shows at the Uptown Arts Bar.
Yeah.
You're going to see Chess with Death, Disappointing Birthday Party, Babies, Jazz, After School Special,
Oh my
lots of
gosh.
teams all week long.
Those are all long form teams
Yeah.
from Kansas City, guys.
Yeah, so
Can you believe that?
fringekc.com, I
Yep.
believe, is the Fringe Fest website.
Yeah.
You can check
Or
that out up there.
KCFringe.com.
Yeah, it's one of the two.
It's
thank
one
you.
of the two.
Yeah, Google
Yeah.
search Kansas
That's
City
all.
Fringe Festival.
Google search that.
Yeah.
You guys know how to do it.
Yeah.
You got it.
Or check out recessplayers.com.
Yeah.
So again, check out eimprov.com as well. That's e-emprov.com to see our online house party set with Bobby in it, which we did earlier tonight. And thanks you to Terry Withers for getting us all set up with that. Thanks to Dale Maxfield, our awesome technician and guy who comes over and puts all kinds of fun stuff in front of us to look at and talk to. And thank you again to Bobby McCosky
Yeah, thanks for
and
having me.
being
Yeah.
our friend. So,
Yeah,
thanks,
yeah,
guys.
Bobby.
Friend
Group
hug.
one.
I'm not gonna get close because I know you're.
Yeah, I'm allergic to
Yeah,
cats.
you have a
So,
cat.
all right.
So, night, guys. Thank you.
Good night.
Thanks.
Now tell us about your racist side.
Yeah.
Like most of us
Look,
being racist.
white people smell funny.